Welcome to the delayed second round of the 2020 South African Cross-Country Series, the Bronkhorstspruit 400. With strict COVID-19 protocols in place, the race may have had a slightly different feel about it this year, but it certainly delivered when it came to the excitement. All the adrenaline and action of the race is brought to you by Toyota Gazoo Racing, Ford, Total Quartz and Pirelli. 2019 seems an age ago now that the world has changed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Back then, the DSP was an open, welcoming place where spectators could mingle with the teams and meet their heroes up close. Last year also saw some cold and misty weather for the race, but fast forward to 2020 and it was all change. The DSP was sealed off, accessible only to the teams, organisers and select media. Strict protocols governed the event, with every person entering the DSP screened by medics, completing a questionnaire and only being admitted if wearing a mask. Hands were regularly sanitized and social distancing was observed. A cautious reopening of the SACCS as required by both the government and Motorsport South Africa. With that said, there were already some points on the board for 2020 and a lot to play for at Bronkies. The man at the top of the table was Henk Ladergan, with teammate Chanel de Villiers just 7 points adrift. Lance Woolridge was sitting in third. Class T saw Johan Horn stealing in early March, with Gary Berthold in second. The battle in Class A saw Clint Gibson topping the table, followed by Tim Howes and Sandra Labuschagne-Jonk. And finally, in Class G of the series, Dean Bradbury had emerged victorious from round one, with Theo Erasmus in second and Nico Durant in third. That's how the points stacked up after round one of the championship, and despite the long gap, all the crews were eager to add to their tally. None more so than defending champion and winner of round one, Henk Ladergan.
No, really happy to be back. Looking forward to the race. It's a strange feeling being here in the service park. Everybody's got masks on, not a lot of spectators around, so it's a whole different feel to the race. But I'm sure when we start going, it's going to be business as usual.
The Toyota Gazoo Racing SA driver's biggest challenge has come from his teammate and Dakar legend, Chanel de Villiers.
Yeah, look, it's nice to be back. I mean, we haven't been in a car for 4 or 5 months now, so we only had the first race of the year, and great to be back again. I'm sure everybody here is excited to be back.
The battle in Class FIA has been growing steadily hotter as more competitors join the top flight of Southern African cross-country racing. While the Toyota Gazoo Racing SA squad has been reigning supreme in this category, the lads from the Ford Castrol cross-country team have now wheeled out 2 Class FIA Ford Rangers in the hands of the 2 Woolridge brothers.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be back. We still got the solid actual upgraded T-Class car, so not fighting with both hands just yet, but very excited to be back, and we're going to just go as hard as we can.
Brother Gareth has, however, missed the action for much longer and was chomping at the bit to get racing once again. In Class T, Johan and Werner Horn in the Malalan Toyota Hilux drew first blood at round number 1, and the brothers were hoping for a repeat here in Bronkhorstspruit.
I think the guy for us to catch today is Gary. He's always fast in this race. So let's see what happens.
We also caught up with Sandra Labuschagne-Jonk, who campaigns the Total Agri Porter in Class A of the special vehicle category.
Everyone's excited, everyone's rested, and everyone had times to spend money on some upgrades and times on upgrades going forward.
The Bronkhorstspruit 400 also saw Brian Baragwana team up with Dakar motorcycle entry Tay Perry, who would for the first time read the notes for the former quad racer. Things got underway with the Pirelli qualifying race, which took place over a distance of 67 kilometres and got underway at 1300 hours on Friday, August the 14th. But there was one order of business before the flag dropped for the first time in 5 months. In the days leading up to the Bronkhorstspruit 400, 2 legends of the sport had unfortunately passed away, and the entire SACCS fraternity took a minute to pay their respects to former ace racer Andre Koch and longtime chief marshal and member of the SACCS Exco, Peter Getcliffe. And then, at exactly 1 o'clock, it was finally time to get back to racing. The qualifying route started and finished near the Suturing function venue, which also served as the HQ and designated service park. From there, the route wound its way south and east over a variety of terrain types before looping back to the finish. Class G saw former champs Werner and Leon Mostert record the 4th fastest time in the side-by-sides after incurring a 5-minute penalty. Without the penalty, which they received for speeding in a controlled zone, the pair would have comfortably led the class. As a result, they were pipped by Peter Walter and Sean de Villiers, who went 3rd fastest, as well as Ken Rutherford and Gerrit Skitter. But class honours went to Nico Durant and Rikus Hutting in their Can-Am Maverick, who posted a time 15 seconds quicker than that of Rutherford and Skitter. Class A saw Andre Fourie and Hendrikus Pienaar go 3rd fastest in their BAT Spec 3, after also losing 5 minutes incurred due to speeding. The same fate befell Sandra and Jaco Jonk in the Total Agri Porter, who would have comfortably won the qualifier were it not for their transgression. In the end, class honours for the qualifying race went to Tim Howes and Gary Campbell in their Zarco Magnum. The lads from KZN making their intent for the main race clear from the get-go. There was one more victim to the speed zone, this time Class T, where Terence Marsh and Wade Harris were docked 5 minutes. Even so, they qualified as the 4th fastest car in Class T, with Vos Prinsloo and Andre Vermeulen more than 8 minutes ahead after the qualifier. Prinsloo and Vermeulen in turn trailed Gary Berthold and Jeff Minute by 1 minute and 28 seconds. But the win in Class T went to Johan and Werner Horn in the Malalan Toyota Hilux. The pair had a great run, though their gap to Berthold was only 12 seconds.
We had a good run. We had 2 small wrong slots. But the car was good. The team did a good job. So yeah, we'll see tomorrow.
And so, onto the lads and ladies in Class FIA. The Bronkhorstspruit 400 saw no fewer than 11 of these beasts take the starters' orders, though Ernst Roberts and Henry Kerner failed to finish the qualifier due to a broken gear linkage. The remaining 10 cars, however, had an epic battle. In the end, however, it came down to 5 men, 2 of whom shared the same surname, Woolridge. The Ford boys went 4th and 5th fastest in the end, with Lance pipping brother Gareth by just 10 seconds.
Yeah, good start. We just got to keep it there tomorrow.
Ahead of them came the 2 Toyota Gazoo Racing SA crews of Janelle de Villiers with Jean Moore beside him, and defending champs Henk Ladeghan and Brett Cummings. De Villiers was 1 minute 30 seconds slower than his younger teammate, but still in a good position for the race. And Ladeghan and Cummings seemed untouchable despite an errant water bottle hampering their progress early on.
I think I forgot to take the water bottle out from my footwell, so at the first braking point I was playing soccer there with the water bottle.
But then came Chris Visser and Donnie Stassen in their Class FIA Toyota Hilux. Visser had attended the funeral of Andre Koch in Freiburg and flew to Gauteng shortly after. Special dispensation for the organisers allowed him to start the qualifier as the last car, but the burly businessman and farmer made the most of this. He ended up splitting the 2 Works Toyota Hiluxes, going just 20 seconds slower than Ladeghan and setting himself up in the perfect position from which to pounce during the race. With the dust settling over Bronkhorstspruit, this is how things stacked up after the Pirelli qualifying race. Class FIA saw Ladeghan and Cummings lead the way, though their margin over Visser and Stassen was just 20 seconds. Class T saw the Horns topping the standings, with Berthold and Minute in second, but just 12 seconds back. Prinsloo and Vermeulen were placed in 3rd and Marsh and Harris in 4th. In the special vehicle category, it was Howes and Campbell who led the charge, with the Yonks in 2nd and Fourie and Pienaar in 3rd. The Class G battle saw Durant and Hutting take the honours in qualifying, with Rutherford and Skitter in 2nd, just 5 seconds behind the leaders. And with that, day 1 of the Bronkhorstspruit 400 drew to a close, setting us up beautifully for the main race of round number 2. Join us again after the break.